We're going to talk about how to find the fractional part of a number. Suppose you were asked the following. Find 3/4 of 200. Just understand of means times. 3/4 times 200. Well, 4 goes into both of these numbers 1 time and 50 times. 3 times 50 is 150 over 1. The rule for dividing by 1 is don't bother. So I found 3/4 of 200. Suppose now I want to find 2/5 of 80. That means I want to compute 2/5 times 80. Well, every number that ends in 5 or 0, 5 goes into them. 5 goes into 5 one time. Now I know 10 goes into 80 8 times. 5 is going to go in 2 times as many times. It's going to go in not 8 times, but 2 times 8 times, 16 times. 2 times 16, that's 32, divided by 1. And again, dividing by 1 is beautiful because you don't have to do it. So the answer is 32. 2/5 of 80 is 32. 2/5 of 80 is good old 32. Here's, how about this one? Find 1/3% of 300. Give you a hint. We'll do this in the next section, but percent means divide by 100. 1/3, percent means over 100, of 300. Well, 100 goes into 300 3 times. We are left with 1/3 times 3, which is 1, because 3 goes into both of those numbers 1 time. 1 times 1 is 1, and dividing by 1 you don't have to bother with. Suppose you were asked to find 1/4% of 800. Well, here's 1/4. Percent means divide by 100. Of means times. 800 means 800. Well, 100 goes into both of those numbers 1 time and 2 times. 4 times, 8 times. 100 goes into 800 8 times. So we're left with 1/4 times 8 over 1. Don't bother with the over 1. So we just have to figure out what 1/4 times 8 is. Well, 4 goes in here 1 time and 4 goes in there 2 times. 1 times 2 is 2 over 1. The answer is 2. Let's do a few word problems. Suppose you come to learn this. You earn $500 per week. Now, 25% of your earnings go to taxes. How much do you get? How much do you see each week? Well, the thing is, you don't see 25%. Now, before they took taxes, you got 100% of your money. But then they took away 25%, so you get 75%. How much you get in your pocket at the end of the week or in your paycheck will be 75% of $500. 75% means over 100 times $500. Well, 100 goes into 100 one time. 100 goes into 500 5 times. So you're left with 75 times $5 over 1. Don't bother with the over 1. 75 times $5 is $375. That's how much you get at the end of the week. The original price of an item is $300, $325. The original price is $325, but it's on sale. Now, 15% off. The question is, if you go to buy the item, how much will it cost you? Let's not worry about sales tax. Well, the thing is, normally you pay 100%. Normally you pay 100%. But for today and today only, you get 15% off. So you pay 85%. But that's not a true statement. You don't pay 85%. You pay 85% of the original price. So it's 85 over 100 times 325. So let us multiply 325 times 85. Let's see what we get. It should be 1625 here. Yep. And it should be 2800 here. 8 times 5 is 40. Carry the 4. 16 plus 4 is 20. Yep. Oops. 24. I meant to say 2600. Okay, 2600. And when you add these numbers, you get this. So it's 27625 divided by 100. Now, I didn't touch the 100. I could have said, you know what? 25 goes into both of these numbers. It goes in here 13 times, and it goes in here 4 times. But then I would have had to divide by 4. Instead of doing 325 times 85, I would have done 325, I would have done 13 times 85. But then I'd have to divide by 4. Dividing by 4 isn't so friendly. I love dividing by 100. So I move the decimals in, and you pay $276.25. That is the sale price. Let us try the next problem, which is another word problem. You take a 40-question true-false exam. Say either you're right or you're wrong, no partial credit. And you earn a 70% on the exam. How many questions did you get right? How many questions did you answer correctly? Well, 70% of the questions, which are 40, you answered correctly. So it's 70% of 40. Now, if you could cancel out the 100, go for it. 40 over 100 is 40 over 10. I divide the top and bottom by 10. If you prefer, I move the decimal in one place. Then I can divide by 10 again. So it's 28 over 1, which is 28. You answered 28 questions right out of 40. Now, we can check this. What is 28 over 40? What percent is that? Well, there's no percent symbol here. That means we want to change the way this looks. We want to multiply by something that equals 1, but it has to be percent. Well, 100 means 100, and percent means to divide by 100. This is 100 over 100, or 1. 100% is 1. So we multiply by 100%. The first thing I would do is cross off a 0 for 0, and 4 goes into 4 one time, and it goes in there 7 times. You have, oh, I didn't put percent. I apologize. I had to multiply by 1. 7 times 10 is 70% over 1, which is your 70%. If you get 28 out of 40, you got 70%. Another way of doing this is, I love dividing by 10. If I divide this by 4, I get 10. If I divide this by 4, I get 7. So this is 7 over 10. Now, I know if I have over 100, I can have percent. So I'm going to multiply by 10 over 10, and then I'll get 70 over 100. Or, when you have 7 over 10, the decimals are there. How about we move each decimal to the right one place, and then from 7 over 10, I get 70 over 100. 70 means 70, but dividing by 100 means percentage. Okay, that completes this section. Finding the fractional part of a number.